This is lesson 41, tuning your guitar, which in reality is not quite possible. There is no guitar that's ever really in tune, but we're going to attempt to tune it very well. Now, you do need one pitch, whether you start on the A if you have a tuning fork, or you watch my other video online where I give you the open strings, but you need, especially if you want to play with other people. Now, if you're a little bit off and you just want to play by yourself, it really doesn't matter if you're on the correct E, as long as the guitar itself is in tune. But you would still like to try to be in tune with the correct E so that you can play with other people and you get used to the pitch. So let's say this is a way of tuning which some of you might have seen already. We're just comparing the same pitches, basically. For example, I always start on the high E string simply because it's easier to hear. You can also start with the low E string. Now, so if I'm playing this string right here, I need to find something to compare to on the second string, which would be the E. So if this is open B string, C, D, E. Now, let's get this guitar out of tune a little bit. Ooh, that hurts. But anyhow, so I'm going to play the open E string, which we figure, okay, that open E string is correct now. So what's wrong with the second string? What you do is you play the open E, then the E on the second string, which is the 5th fret. Okay, what's wrong with it? It's a little low. Now, if you have a hard time hearing it, and that we're going to talk about ear training later, just try to sing it. Now, I don't have a great voice, but if I would have a hard time, it's very easy to sing this note. La, la. Well, that one is lower, I can tell by my voice. So that's just a little trick that I like to use. Now, if I want to bring it up, I move it a little bit, compare it again. Still not there. Still a little flat. You hear how that is getting closer? Alright, now let's do, so now we have the open E string tuned and we have the open B string tuned. So now we go to the G string. So in order to compare the G string to the open second string, we have to find the B on the G string, which is open G string, A, B. Ooh, that already sounds pretty bad. Let's see. Open B string. Ooh, that sounds sharp, meaning it's a little higher. So I'm going to bring the G string down. Try it again. Still not there. There we go. That's a touch flat. There we go. All right. And then we continue. Now, the G string is the only one where you have to put your finger on the 3rd fret. Let's move on to the D string. So we play the open G string and then the D on the, the open G string and the G on the D string, which is on the 5th fret. That's flat. Still flat. That's pretty good. As you see, we continue now 5th fret because this is the D string, which is in tune now. We compare it to the D on the A string. Sharp. Bring it down. All right, and then the last string. Sharp again. Now, what's really important that is if you have old strings, they might not be able to be tuned right because the string might be wobbling, it's not even anymore. The string has to be very even. Guitar strings are pretty cheap compared to, let's say, other strings, violin strings, etc. Pretty inexpensive, that's a better word. But so if they're more than a month old or 2 months old, and I know some of you have strings that probably haven't been changed yet, it's time to change the strings.